intention to Bodhi, Buddha revealed bit by bit, perfection of 6 parameters, compassion, kindness, joy and giving, free from suffering and gaining the bliss, His merit is free from suffering and gaining the bliss, His merit is so splendid, vow to follow, resolve as Him, to fulfill the Buddha's practice constantly. Perceive corruption, then to leave. Ponder on nirvana's benefits. When vexation as strong wind, while a mind as light and moving. Kindness, forgiving, happiness, compassion to relieve suffering, joyful on path to Bodhi, giving to relief the beings to rid evil. Now see peace and happiness only if living beings free from suffering, vow to undertake Buddha's practice, fulfill Buddha's practice faithfully. Positive, active, and cohesively fulfill Buddha's practice faithfully. From intention to Bodhi, Buddha revealed bit by bit, perfection of 6 parameters, compassion, kindness, joy and giving, free from suffering and gaining the bliss, His merit is so splendid, vow to follow, resolve as Him, to fulfill the Buddha's practice constantly. Perceive corruption, then to leave. Ponder on nirvana's benefits. When vexation as strong wind, while a mind as light and moving. Kindness, forgiving, happiness, compassion to relieve suffering, joyful on path to Bodhi, giving to relief the beings to rid evil. Now see peace and happiness only if living beings free from suffering, vow to undertake Buddha's practice, fulfill Buddha's practice faithfully. is faithfully.
Good evening, everybody.
Hi, good evening, Mr. Bodhi.
How are you?
I'm
All
good,
right,
thank you. How
that's
about
good.
you?
I'm all right.
Oh, that's great.
Uh,
Okay,
uh,
so this is Daisy speaking. So could you allow me to make an opening for our lecture?
yeah, yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead. Go ahead.
okay. So we respectfully request the esteemed Dr. Buddha, a
Mhm.
preacher of the Buddha Dharma, to expound upon the profound and wonderful meanings of the Buddha teachings.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, please.
Thank you very much. That's nice. Yeah, those thoughts. We'll start our lesson or the discussion, I would say. Okay, we'll go back to good evening. Yeah, we'll go back to Rupa, the very first thing that we discussed yesterday and day before yesterday. Rupa. Yeah, Rupa. Now, there are two types of rupa. The real rupa, outside you get the real rupa of various things. So every time we look at the real rupa, but we cannot bring the real rupa into our mind. We can't bring that to our mind. We can say that is my house, that is my car, that is my garden, that is my flowers, that is my mother, that is my father, and so on and so forth. But we can't bring them into our mind as a picture, as a real picture, I would say, a real picture. What we bring is a fictitious or fake picture of all the things that we see. You're happy with that explanation?
Yes, yes,
Yeah, you understood that. So we can't bring them. Now, there's another thing I have to tell you. The Buddha's teachings are competency based. Competent. We have to be competent about what,
competent.
yeah, competent, practice. You have to practice and get competency. That means uh, we are thorough. We have to be thorough with that. Competent. Competent means becoming thorough. Examine through your system and check whether it's right or wrong. So
Okay,
there's no one for us to say, there's no one to prove for us about Buddha's teachings other than us. We have to prove by ourselves. So the
yes,
proof is with us, not with others,
yes, exactly.
because you have to check whether it's right or wrong by yourself. You have to put everything what Buddha has taught into our system and check whether it's right or wrong. It is, Buddha said, come and examine this. Come and check. Come and observe. Come and try to understand what I'm talking about. That is Buddha's words. Okay. Now these will go back to the point where we started, Rupa. The Rupa, yes, observe, understand, check, yeah, everything. Good. So what we have to understand is there are real Rupa or real figures, real pictures outside. We look at all these real pictures outside, but mind you, those real pictures also deteriorate and it's not going to be there forever. Even a
Yeah.
house is deteriorating, but we can't see that at once. It's getting deteriorated little by little, every day, every minute. It's getting deteriorated, or it's getting losing its appearance
Mm-hmm.
little by little. We have to
Yes.
support, we have to repair it,
Mm.
we have to do the refurbishing and all sort of things. Now, the other thing I have to tell you is what I'm talking about, these items, Rupa, Vedana, Sanya. Other two are Sankara and Vijnana. So there are 5 items, 5 aggregates. These are happening at a terrific speed. The speed is 1 millionth of a second, I would say, according to our calculations, what we have learned, it is nano. You have heard about the nano, the term nano.
Nano. No,
No,
never.
it's here, nano. It's millimeter, nanometer. So it's nanoseconds. So nanosecond is 10 to the power,
Oh.
10 to the power minus 9, 9. So 10 to the power minus 9. The kilo, the mega, the increasing side, milli, then, it goes up to mega, giga. So that's increasing side. Similarly, it's reducing
Mm.
in a similar manner. But in the reducing side, the smallest one is nano.
Okay, got
So
it.
nano is very, very, very small. This particular speed of happening Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana, happening every here now in our system is faster than nano. So you can imagine how fast it is. So Buddha has grasped that, found that through Buddha's omniscience, knowledge. No one can see that. It's happening so fast. So we see,
Actually,
yeah. So
actually,
we
we cannot realize them, right, when they are happening.
know what Buddha said is, it is happening, but we can direct our things towards the calmness or peacefulness we practice, then automatically that happening is going to go in the right direction. So that's the only thing that we can do. We have to realize, if we don't know what something like this happening, we just ignore and do whatever we want.
Yes.
Then we get, all sort of problems.
Yeah, we will get a lot of sufferings in the end.
In the end, without our knowledge. So the very first thing is to learn these things. Then you have to examine every day, day and night, Then finally, you can practice what Buddha said. So first thing is to understand, realize what these things are.
Yes.
So let us do that first. Then we have to find out the method, as I said, So when I speak to my wife, as I said yesterday, so she said it's better to understand, then realize, then practice little by little, then you can become a good practitioner. That will
Okay.
work. So that's but her message is, in her case, it's automatically has come up to that point Maybe she has practiced in the previous lives. I don't know.
Yeah. I think so.
So it's a born person with calmness. So it's
Yes.
lucky to have that trait or the quality, which is not easy. Yes, she's different. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's the best thing is to admire the calmness, admire the peacefulness. You have to admire, you have to appreciate your calmness. Then the
Yes.
calmness is coming behind you all the time. So I'm
Agree.
here. Say it again.
I
You had
say
some,
agree.
yeah, great. Yeah, the peacefulness and the calmness has to be admired by every individual. How good it is, how beautiful it is, how helpful it is, how grateful it is, how admirable it is. All these terms we can use. So you have to admire, you have to appreciate, you have to accept with a great attitude. So it should be a good attitude. Now there are two terms you may have heard about, attitude and aptitude.
Attitude, I know, but what is
There's another one called aptitude.
aptitude? How to oh,
Aptitude, yeah,
aptitude.
that's the one. Yeah, aptitude. APTITUD. That's correct. Aptitude is different to attitude. Aptitude is coming from your small age. Sometimes aptitude is very difficult to change. Those are habits from the small age. Attitudes can be
Ah,
changed.
yes.
Attitude comes and goes. So what you have to do is you have to transfer the aptitudes to attitudes. Because if you have got bad if you have got bad attitudes from your small age, then you have to turn that to good attitudes. Good attitudes. Yeah, that's right. So aptitude and attitudes are different. So you can see the dictionary and see. So it's coming from the small age, aptitudes. It's hard to change the aptitudes, but easy to change the attitudes. You are with me?
Yes. I'm with you. It's like
Yeah.
inborn,
In-
inborn,
Inborn, inborn qualities.
yeah, inborn quality.
Yeah, that's the aptitude. So people, it comes from the previous practices of previous lives, or it can come from the heredity of the parents' influence. It can be from the small age of from the friends, relatives, who knows? It could be anything. We can't draw a line and say this is how it comes, but it is there.
Yeah.
So it's another word. So you learn two words which gives two different meanings. That's good. Now I just wrote few things about this rupa. Now I'll go through that very slowly. These rupa registered in our mind through the six senses. So our senses helps to register this rupa as upadana rupa because they are developed, created inside the mind. It is not the actual rupa or the pictures that we see in the outside world. Six senses, yeah. So we say six sensorial organizations also. These senses are organizations. They organize things. So you can use that word even for the senses. I is an organization. If why it's an organization, it produces various things. Here is an organization, it produces various things. it sends the sound waves with the sound waves with various pictures of the outside world through the sound. And when it goes into the mind, it is investigated there, and it will going to get deposited or registered in the mind as a upadana rupa. So all six senses are helping to absorb these create upadana rupa inside the interior or the mind. Can you understand that, or am I to repeat that?
Yeah. Perfectly.
Okay, so you know it's registered there. So it's the tongue, the nose, you name all these six senses would help
And yes,
to get upadana rupa. So we can't talk about rupa without upadana rupa, because we can't get the real rupa or the pictures of the outside world into our system, as I said earlier. So when that happens, the upadana rupa are fake and fictitious
fake and
entities,
fictitious. Yes.
entities or units or items deposited or registered in our mind. So they are coming,
Registered.
yeah,
Yes.
registered or created and registered in our mind. So
Yeah.
for a matter of second, millions of rupa is coming from the same object or different objects. So you
Yes.
can, if you are looking at the house, if you are looking at the flower, so the flower is changing here and now, which we can't see, but while it is changing its orientation or the pattern every second and now, so the rupa is coming through the rays, sun rays into our eyes, and it goes in through the eyes into the mind, and it get registered as upadana rupa. So every rupa goes and register there, is changing all the time. But we see only one, but it is not one rupa. It's so many rupas with changing chain of rupa. It is like you have seen the reel of a picture. When you see go to the cinema to see a cinema, then you can see it's going faster. The reel is going very fast. Then you can see people are moving here and there. So it's changing. Can you understand
Yeah.
that?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's going like that. So when that happens, when it goes and hits the mind internally, what happens is they come and go from our six senses every here and now. This process of oncoming rupa is known as that process. It's coming. Rupa is coming. That is called as rupa raga. Rupa raga. The term that we use to
Ruparaga.
rupa raga. It's a continuous process of rupa coming from the outside and depositing in our mind as upadana rupa. That process is called rupa raga. Rupa raga. The process, that continued process is called rupa raga. Rupa raga. Coming from the outside, going through all six senses, all six senses it goes through, not only eyes, the nose, the tongue, everything, the body. So all these sensors helps to register those upadana rupa And that particular process is known as Rupa Raga. Rupa Raga. So when they come into the system, it's like, giving a message to us. It's coming and giving a message to us. It's like a signal coming into us. Signal is sent with a Rupa. Rupa is bringing a signal or a message. So can you understand the terms that I use? Signal
Totally.
or a message. So
Yeah,
that
yeah.
message, signal or a message, that message is going to ask us to check whether is it worthwhile to, examine or entangle with that upadana rupa to get some happiness or not. It's happening very fast.
Yeah.
It's happening fast. Now, when you see a flower, you feel like picking that flower. So that signal, the message came, you decided, you have taken the decision, so you go and pick the flower. It's all done, in a matter of
Hold
seconds.
on.
Not
Yes.
seconds, it's
So,
very fast.
yeah, very fast. So, Doctor, may I ask you a question? Could you repeat Rupa Raga?
Yeah, Rupa
I know.
Raga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we learned raga before, but upa raga, yeah, they link together. What does it mean, please? Could you repeat it?
Yeah. I want to make sure you understand that very well, because in the next topic, this particular Rupa Raga comes into the picture. So we have to understand. So I thought of telling you now, so we can recall later. What it sees is, okay, the Rupa is coming from outside. Okay, just imagine outside Rupa, actual Rupa is coming through the eyes into your retina in the eye, and it will deposited or registered in the eye. So once it is registered, that Rupa is called Upadana Rupa. The Rupa came from outside is actual Rupa. Through the light rays, it comes and get deposited inside the interior of the mind through the eyes, because there's a signal going from eye to the mind always. So all the signals are going from there to the eyes, tongue to the brain or the mind, you call, so all these are connected through the veins and all that. So the signals are transmitted to the brain or the mind, through the brain to the mind. So then it get deposited as Upadana Rupa. That but Rupa, Upadana Rupa. So it's not the same Rupa, but it's a created Rupa. That's why the created Rupa means Buddha use for the term created Rupa. Instead of using created, Buddha used Upadana. Upadana means created Rupa from the outside. So it's a created Rupa. It's a formed Rupa. It's a made Rupa inside. That's why you can zoom it or zoom out, and you can keep it in your mind. A house, you can't put the picture of a house with the same size in your interior. You can't. So
Not the
therefore,
same size. Yeah, not the same size.
it's adjusted to suit your mind. It's an
Yeah,
adjustment. So it will
adjusted. Yes, yes, yes. So today
adjust.
we learned something about adjusted. Yes.
Yeah. So that has to adjust automatically. So that won't ask us. It will do that by them, in the system itself. So it happens automatically without warning, without telling us. So it's goes and adjusts to sit or register in the mind. So that registered Rupa can't be named as Rupa because it's adjusted. Therefore, it's called Upadana Rupa. So Buddha used an adjective to explain that Rupa as Upadana Rupa.
Yeah.
Upadana is an adjective. Can you understand that?
Adjective. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
adjective. Now, what happens is that process, yeah, adjective, that process, Rupa coming, getting deposited or registered as Upadana Rupa. So it's a process. All the time it's happening. That ongoing process is called Rupa Raga. That process is named as Rupa Raga. So we all are.
Oh, I see. Yeah, the
Now you
process.
know what
Oh,
it
yeah.
process.
Got it.
Process. Yeah, very good. So it's the process is Rupa Raga. So we all are, undergoing that process. We all are confined to that particular process, Rupa Raga. The Rupa comes and get the Upadana Rupa into the system. That process is termed as Rupa Raga. Then what happens is that process giving messages and signals to the mind all the time, very fast. Take this or reject this, take this or reject this, like it or dislike this, like it or dislike this. Some sort of calm is going there. Yeah. Can you
Got it.
understand that?
Yeah. So may I make it clear? Upa Raga is the process of Rupa to Upadana Raga. Rupa. Is it?
Upadana Rupa, Upadana.
Okay.
Upadana. You,
Okay.
is starting with you. Yes, it's not
Okay.
you, Upadana, it's
Oh,
Upadana.
Okay.
Yeah, Upadana.
Upadana. Upa.
Yeah. So you have to write in your language to make a note if you like, then it's easy. Otherwise, if you look at the English term, upadana, to write upadana, there is no any other way other than using you, but it can be pronounced as upadana. It is not
Oh,
upadana, it's a
Upadana. Oh, yes. Either.
upadana. U.
U.
Mhm.
Upadana. Okay. I will practice
Upadana.
more. Thank you.
Yeah, a little bit practice is required. That's good. So if you try, several times, it will get registered in your mind. Don't worry. It happens automatically. Because we are going to use all these terms as we go along. In various topics, we use these things, over and over again. Rupa, Upadana Rupa, Rupa Raga, and all that will come later as well. So it's
Yeah.
worth
It's very
remembering.
interesting. Yeah. Very interesting. I got it.
That's good. So then what happens is it brings messages. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Take it or leave it. Those are the messages given by this Upadana Rupa which are registered there. So when it says take it, you can have some happiness, then we take it. If it says you can't have happiness, we reject it. If it says if you touch this, if you accept this Upadana Rupa, you get hatred. Some people like it. Some people don't like it. Some people like to hate others. If you get an enemy, people like to hate enemies. So it's all sort of problems. So the system does that without knowledge. If you grab them or take them, we would be in trouble. Can you
Yes.
understand?
Yeah.
So I'm trying to minimize the confusion. I'm trying to make it interesting and see the reality to become
Reality. Okay.
competent about how this system works. What we are trying to do is we are trying to figure out how this system works. how our system works. And every day we are in the business of catching upadana, registering upadana rupa. That is our business every day. Whether we like
Yes.
it or not. So everybody, when I say, it's everybody in the world, not only us, everybody in the world is doing this. Even the animals do that, but they don't know what's going on.
Automatically, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you.
they are helpless. We can't explain to the animals. They can't understand. So we are lucky in that sense. As human beings, we can understand what's going on, which is a big, big plus. Anyway, now that is Upadana Rupa comes and, yeah, that's right. It comes and register in our interior or the mind with a message or a signal. Would you like to take it or would you like to reject it?
Oh,
That's the assessment we do. So that particular message, to take it or leave it, is the Vedana. That's the message. Next one. Next one is Vedana. Vedana
Vedana.
means, Vedana means it's
Oh,
telling us to take it or leave it. So the process is going on. Then that will is to the Upadana Rupa and the message together help us to identify whether to take it or leave it. So that's called the Sanya. Sanya, the next item is Sanya. That means to identify. After identification, after the message, after the signal, we were asked to perceive or identify and recognize what it is. So for example, you look at the flower, example. You look at the flower, it registered the Upadana Rupa, it sends a message, would you like to accept it? Then you try to identify what it is. It is a flower, beautiful flower, or ugly flower, or normal flower. It's a faded flower. It's about to die out. All these things are given through that identification. That is the sanya
identification.
or that's the sanya, that's the perception.
Ah, so san, sanya.
Sanya, sanya.
Okay. Okay.
So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya working together. All are working together. Rupa,
Oh,
Vedana, Sanya in no time. It's very, very quick. We can't, visualize. It's intangible. We can't visualize. It's so fast. Thanks to Lord Buddha, helped us to understand this with omniscient knowledge. Taught us.
mm-hmm.
Otherwise, we don't know. We are clueless. We are blind. We don't know what's going on. But that is how it happens. So it's Rupa, Vedana, Sanya.
Yes.
Now, when that happens, when these three are happening, I'll go a little bit further. When these three are happening, now you have got a good understanding about these three because you can practice and see, somebody is coming to take my, there's a tree in front of me in my house. There's mangoes. Somebody is coming to pick the mangoes without permission.
Permission.
So what's going to happen to me? Here it is. I go there. I was sitting in front of the veranda of the house. I can see I'm having a good cup of tea. I'm having a nice cup of tea. While I'm having that cup of tea, I see this fellow has climbed to that tree and picking the mangoes without my permission.
So
Then
how
group of
about your reaction?
that's right. So it's coming, the Rupa comes So it's the faster the terrific speed. The rupa comes, rupa of that situation comes in, upadana rupa, message comes, signal comes, that fellow is speaking these things without your permission, identify the person, here it is, he's a human being or an animal or whatever, so you identify, here it is, then what happens to your system? You get some sort of irritation, you're not happy, your system changes little by little. You're going in the direction of anger. Is that right?
Yes. Either annoyed. Yeah.
Yeah, annoyed. Not everybody. Some people, who cares, let him take that. And, sometimes some people say, you pick whatever you want and go, don't worry. So there are people like that also who has practiced, these things and think, no use, getting angry with these people because they are taking because they have nothing to eat or something like that. Let them take. Or some people go the other way. They get angry. No matter which way you go, your particles or the parts of the body, the physical body, is going to compress, squeeze, and warms up and
Yeah.
vibrates. All these four things are
Vibrate.
happening.
Yeah.
Yeah, vibration. So it's happening all together. It's compression, but we can't realize, but it's happening. But what we can realize is we get angry. Anger comes. So anger has all these things. All these things resulting anger. What are all these things? The compression, the squeezing, the warming up, and the vibration of the physical body brings that anger with that particular disturbance. So that is called sankara, the next one.
That is
The next
called
sankara, rupa, vedana,
Sankara.
sanya. The sankara is that. Sankara is changing the physical body.
Changing the physical body.
Then gives a signal. Then you get a feeling. That fellow is taking that, So the sankara helps to get the bad feelings. So you feel that. That is the next stage. Vijnana. Vijnana is feeling some feelings. You feel some feelings. What were you feeling earlier? You were feeling a nice cup of tea, the taste of a nice cup of tea. What are you feeling now? You are feeling the feeling of this fellow picking up the things without my permission. So you feel the anger. That is sankara. Now see, all five things are happening continuously at once. Although it explained as five aggregates, all these aggregates are happening at once. So with that example, you can see, if I go back to that example again, or go to the other example. Right. Now, looking at the flower. Okay, you look at the flower. Here comes the rupa of the flower, actual rupa. It comes and register the upadana rupa. So that process is going on. While that process is going on, the message comes. Take it or leave it. It's a nice flower. It is not a nice flower, some might say. Some people say, let it be there, I don't care. So it's a neutral feeling. So you can have a positive feeling, you can have a negative feeling, you can have a neutral feeling about the flower. If somebody is fond of flowers, positive feeling. If somebody doesn't like the flowers, negative feeling. If somebody is not caring about flowers, neutral feeling. Can you understand that?
Yes, yes.
That feeling comes at the end. That is the vijnana. in this
Vijnana.
process, Vijnana, you know, now Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. That's the last one. So that the last one comes last. But before that, these four things are happening without our knowledge. Now we can say that person likes the flowers because he picked the flowers. So his feeling was, I like the flower. So who took up to there for that person? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara. Then only he will pick the thing with Sanya. Sanya is the feeling.
Feeling. Oh, sanya.
Yeah. So it's a feeling to grab it, feeling to take it, feeling to take and, you know, keep it at home and see its beauty for a while until it fades away. When it fades away, throw it away and bring another one. Again, the same process. So it's Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. Okay, I'll go back to these five again. These are called the five aggregates. And mind you,
Aggregates.
yeah. And
1, 2,
these
3.
are the, yeah. Now, I didn't start with this definition of these five. The definition of these five is, these are the components of a thought. You know what a thought is? Our thought is made out of these five items. Five aggregates are the components of a thought, idea or thought. Components of a thought. Yeah. So that is how our thoughts are created in our system. How many thoughts we create per day? Millions and billions. Unbelievable amount of thoughts. If you go to the computer and if you look at various things in the computer, it happens in the same manner. If you look at a picture for a while, if you go for a trip and go to see something, while you are hanging around in that area, you get number of thoughts about the people, the food, the sceneries, you name everything, the animals, whatever you see, you know, the nice gardens, nice waterways, you know, the sea, the beach, everything. So you get thoughts. Thoughts are made out of these five items. So Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vijnana. So you get excited. Some people get excited when they see something which they have not seen earlier. Say they go to a different country, all of a sudden they see a different animal or different type of food to eat. So number of thoughts are created. Can you understand that?
Yeah. Yes, yes.
Not 100. I know that it's not 100%, but you have to examine whether it's
Yeah,
right or
the
wrong.
direction. Yeah, I think every
Yes.
detail not so clear. Okay.
So it's not easy for me to explain also. You know, Buddha's teachings are not that easy to explain because it's a practical thing. It's not a theoretical thing. Now, if I'm going to teach physics or chemistry or mathematics or some science, it's easy because I can read the theory and just go on explaining on the board or to the class. But here I had to talk about the practical side as well. So it's pretty not that easy. Buddha's
Yeah,
teaching is not easy to teach. It is to
yeah,
comprehend. It is to understand. It is to practice. So the listener has to practice while now I can say when I was practicing, this is what happened. Now, if you look at these five, I have a question for you. If you can give the
okay.
right answer, that's great. Yeah, this is the question. Out of these 5 points, Rupa, it comes. gives a message. Vedana, it brings that message to either to take it or leave it. Then Sanya is to identify. Then Sankara is changing the system now. So the person who was there is changed to a different person. Like, the person who was sitting there with a cup of tea, that person changed the whole system when he or she sees that person picking the mangoes without permission. So that is Sankara. So Vijnana is then the feelings come in to the system. So sometimes when the feeling is bad, one might throw something to that person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sometimes somebody can go and uh,
Get angry?
assault the person until he comes down from the tree. Might he or she may be waiting to catch him and punish him. So
Yeah.
now, which one is the worst part of these five? Where is the turning point? Be careful. Now, what is hurting us? Whether Rupa or Vedana or Sanya or Sankara or Vijnana. Which one is hurting us?
Yeah, good question. So who would like to answer? Yeah, which one is hurt? Yeah, is going to hurt the person?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. Which one? Rupa, Vedana, Sanya,
Hello.
Sankara,
Okay.
Vijnana. So
I
Sankara is changing the person's, the qualities are changing. The good qualities are changing. So the real point is Sankara. Sankara is changing. So Buddha says Rupa, dealing with Rupa is all right. Getting the message is all right.
Yeah.
The identification is all right. This is a flower, this, that.
Yeah.
Sankara is the point where the system is going to change.
Yeah. So the third
So,
one, Sangara.
so the fourth one, not the third. Fourth.
For fourth one? Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, fourth
First
one.
one.
Yeah, fourth one. So Buddha says, go to Rupa, go to Vedana, go to Sanya, put the brakes on. Don't go Sankara Vijnana.
Yeah. That's it. Cause yeah, to that step, yeah, a person has been changed, especially the quality.
Yeah, now I'll give you example. Okay. Buddhas and Arahants and higher level Arahants, people like that, they go to Rupa, they go to Vedana, they go to Sanya, but they never go to Sankara and Vijnana in that thought. So if you go to all five, it's a thought. If you don't go to the last two and stop at Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, it is called a concept. So the Buddha is following a concept. We follow thoughts. That is the difference.
sorry, what is concept?
Concept is
Concept.
yeah,
This
concept.
one?
It's
Notion. Notion.
This
not emotion. It's I would say
this one?
it's concept is you're not hurting yourself. Put it like that.
Yeah.
Now
Concept.
see, you have got a view. You have got a view. It doesn't matter. It's not hurting anybody. You're not going to insist your concept or the view. If you're going to insist forcibly, then it becomes a hurtful thing for the others. So you can
Yeah.
have. So, for example, if you have the concept of being compassionate is good, it's not
Yeah.
hurting it. So that's the compassionate. The
Compassionate.
concept.
Yeah.
Now see, compassionate is a concept. It is not a thought. Thought is, so if you are creating a thought is always hurtful because Sankara and Vijnana are there. I don't know whether I went fast. I think you have understood that part. I can repeat that again and again because thought is so important.
It's so subtle, yeah, very detailed and very profound. So needs your repetition again and again. And
Yeah, I'll repeat those things with examples as we go on. So for today, we'll concentrate on these 5 over and over again. I don't want to bring other things, but as we go along, I'm going to bring this to consolidate, to strengthen about the understanding about these thoughts. I'll bring some examples, more and more examples. Now, it's so important and so interesting to learn. Just imagine how Buddha has comprehended this, unbelievable. So you see something. So Buddha says, why bother too much about the fictitious thoughts? Fictitious, it's a fictitious. So the thought is the fictitious thing because thought is started with what? Fictitious upadana rupa. Fictitious upadana rupa brings a fictitious thought. So all these thoughts are fictitious. Then one might ask, then I can't live in this world. What are you talking about? I can't live in this world. What's the big idea of living in this world? No, you can. You can live without thoughts. You can live with concepts. You go to Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, don't change your system, don't change your blood pressure, don't change your, don't get angry. So you can still live with concepts.
yes,
So you can eat well, you can sleep well, you can associate people well, no thoughts, concept only. It's not easy, but Buddhas and Arahants, higher level, great people live with concepts only.
I totally agree with you, and I suppose I can follow up you. Yeah.
Yeah, you understood what I said. It's how beautiful it
Yes.
is.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah,
But
okay.
generally, not so every detail. Okay.
No, it's all right. You don't change your pattern of living, but when you bring compassion into your system little by little, right? When you
Yeah.
bring peace into your system, then what happens is you are not going for the all 5. You stop at first 3 in the system without your knowledge. It happens automatically. It happens automatically.
Yeah.
So you do it effortlessly. That's the term. It happens effortlessly. No effort to be taken or put in.
Yeah.
You don't have to put an effort. So Buddha says, when you practice these things will come to you automatically, effortlessly.
Uh-huh.
So you don't
Effortless.
have to, effortless, no effort, no force, no force. You can't sit and say, okay, from today I'm going to be compassionate. No, you can't do that. You have to figure out what's happening. Am I to go for that? Or am I going to associate with them, slightly like my shadow? That's the term used by Buddha, like the shadow. You associate with people like your shadow. So you can always leave the shadow away because shadow is behind you, but shadow is not hurting you.
Yes.
Shadow never hurts us. Shadow is always with us, but never hurts us. So
Yes.
Buddha said, live like you are living with others, you live like a shadow that you are living with. So you are living with a shadow without any trouble. So similarly, live with others Others means, everything in the world, like you are living with a shadow. So they won't hurt you, you won't hurt them.
Yes. So
Which
just
can
like you
be
said, yeah. Doctor, just like you say, yeah, you just said example with the shadow. So what's the topic? What's the main idea you would like to deliver? Shadow.
This is a Buddha's example, like a shadow.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
not my example. Buddha says, the shadow is coming behind you. The good or bad things are going to come behind us,
Yeah. Okay.
like the shadow. So that's the term Buddha used. It's a
Yeah,
very,
whatever. Yeah,
very
whatever
valuable.
good or bad, whatever good
Yes,
or bad, there are shadows with us. Yes.
yeah, shadow. Shadow comes no matter where you are, shadow is there. You can't ask the shadow to go away.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, if you do good, the goods will come automatically. You don't have to ask
Yeah.
for the good things to come behind you. And similarly, the bad things will come behind us.
Yes.
You can't say don't come the bad things, only the good things should come. No, it will come like
Incredible.
the shadow, like the
Impossible.
shadow. Yeah. So we are helpless in that manner. So Buddha's example is superb, is unbelievable. Shadow. How nice the example, it's
Nice,
pretty
nice.
very valuable example. Okay, now I'll read through this again. So the Rupa is all the pictures of worldly sources. We deal with them. All the people are dealing with the pictures of worldly sources or worldly items. We deal with them to live this life. But we cannot bring them to our system directly. We can bring them to our interior or the mind indirectly as upadana rupa.
Yes.
That process is called rupa raga. Rupa
Yeah.
raga. Now,
Raga.
once that rupa raga process is going on, it brings messages and signals to our internal system to identify whether it's good or bad, take it or leave it. Those messages are coming with that. So that's called Rupa Vedana Sanya. The all three things, Rupa Vedana Sanya, are joined together. So the Rupa Vedana Sanya, that those three items are not hurtful. It won't hurt people. It will never hurt the people. Where is the hurting point? Sankara and Vijnana. Those are the 2 points where it hurts us. So that is the place where we have to be very careful. So you can associate with Rupa, it will gives Upadana Rupa into our system with a message or signal to tell us, take it or leave it. You can take it and you can be happy, but don't take it very strongly, Buddha says. If you take it very strongly, then that's the tricky point. That's the important point. If you take it very strongly, right, then it jumps to sankara. The system changes. If you reject similarly, if you reject something strongly, then the anger comes and you might punish the person who did that. So you should not accept or reject strongly. Can you get that point?
Yes.
Yes. So you should never reject or accept very strongly anything in this world. In any
Yes,
case,
strongly. Strongly, yeah, if your attitude is very strongly, somehow it says you are very, yeah, you are attached to something.
Yeah. So it's very strongly when you attach to something. That's what we learned at the beginning.
Yeah,
Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Lobha, Desha, Moha, Machariya, Krodha, Vaira.
yeah,
So be taken along that path. If we do that, before going along this, it's going along that, and this Sankara goes to Sankara, and Vijnana gives all sort of problems.
yes, yes. So go
So
to that circle. Yeah,
yeah, so that's why we learned that one as the base. I said it's the foundation. Rupa, Kama, Tanna, Rati, Raga, Lobha, Desha, Moha, Machariya, Krodha. So if you read that several times, even if you can't remember those Buddha's terms, if you can understand the meanings of these terms practically, what's happening if I attach too much, what's the next one? Kama, Tanna, it's attached to that. Rati, then it's, warm up the system. Rati Raga is repetitively happening and so on and so forth. Finally getting retaliation, irritation. Then finally you retaliate with the outsider.
retaliate. Yeah,
You retaliate and get into all sort of problems. So that's why the attachment must be like a feather. Feather is the term, feather, like a
feather.
feather.
Yes,
It's
yes.
very, very light, like a feather. Okay,
Uh,
so
yes.
these are the terms we can use in English. So the process of oncoming rupa is known as rupa raga. It's the process. The process is called rupa raga. Then
Mhm.
you are checking whether it's giving happiness, but we know the happiness is not permanent, and we have to realize that what we are checking is we are checking for the happiness from a fictitious item. Now see, we are trying to get happiness through a fictitious upadana rupa. It's a fictitious one. So Buddha says this damage is done by a fictitious rupa, fictitious picture, which is going through this process of Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankara, Vinyana, the 5 items of a thought. So the thought is made out of a fictitious Rupa of something, and eventually it gives a feeling. The feeling of a feeling is a myth. Buddha used the term, those feelings are myths. So every every person is going for feelings. So I want this feeling, that feeling. I'm looking for this feeling. So people are
Exactly.
we are looking for various feelings. So life is for looking for various feelings every time.
Yes.
Then only I'm happy. But that feeling comes and goes. It doesn't stay there the way that we wish. So that is the reason it says, Buddha says, because the feelings are not, permanent, we are suffering.
No.
When the
Oh,
feeling comes, we are happy. When the feeling goes, we are unhappy. When the feeling goes away, we get upset, annoyed. As long as the feeling is there, we are happy. So the happiness and the unhappiness are, going head to head. Can you
yes.
understand?
Yes, totally.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, no,
I hope
yeah, everything is clear. Thank you.
that's yeah, all right. It's good. Yeah. So then, all right, we'll have the discussion tomorrow. From there, we'll repeat that, and we'll try to consolidate this thought. But a thought, these thoughts are. Those are the
Mm.
5 aggregates. 5 aggregates means 5 items, 5 parts of a thought, 5 components of a thought. So I can put any word. 5 components of a thought, 5 aggregates of a thought, 5 parts of a thought, 5 units of a thought, 5
Yes.
forms of thoughts, and you can use any term
Yeah,
to
5
understand.
types of thought type.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that's right. I missed that. 5 types of, very good. Yeah, good point. Yeah, 5 types of thought. Yeah, why not? Yeah, clear. Very good. Thanks for the contribution. Thanks for listening, and all the best. So we'll stop at this point if you don't mind, if you don't have any questions. If you have got questions, you can still ask me.
Okay, so Doctor, I have a question.
Okay, ask me.
So just now you mentioned sana. Sana is a feeling, is identify the feeling.
Yeah, not
To
identify the feeling, identifying whether I can have happiness or not.
okay, so
Feeling is the final part, because we are
feeling is the first part.
no, the last one, the vijnana. Vijnana is the feeling of the feelings, feeling the feelings.
Vina is
Vijnana,
the
vijnana,
feeling.
last thing. That's what we are looking for. We are looking for some sort of feelings, but we are looking for good feelings, but we get sometimes bad feelings.
Okay.
Like that, the tree that we are looking at. We were having a good feeling with a cup of tea, and if we are happy, good feeling, all of a sudden here comes something, to unfortunately, unexpectedly, somebody has climbed the tree and picking the mangoes.
Okay. So sana is only identify something.
Or sanya is the English term given in books is sanya is perception.
Perception.
Pers-
Yeah, perceptions.
perception. If you look at a book in, English book in about Buddhism, sanya is given as perfection. But I don't like to, give, okay, put it like this way. I had to make sure. This is a very important thing. I don't like to give a term for rupa in English and say rupa is figure, or figurines or
Item.
pictures. Yeah,
Yeah.
then I don't want to explain what pictures are. I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm always going to explain what rupa is meant by Buddha.
Okay.
I'm explaining what rupa is. I'm not explaining what pictures are, because it's useful to explain what rupa is, but if I'm going to explain what rupa are, then I'm ignoring the rupa, the term rupa made by the Buddha. I don't want to miss that.
Yeah,
So if I go to Vedana, I can say it's Vedana is some messages and signals. So I'm not going to explain what signals and messages are other than Vedana. So when I explain Vedana, I had to use so many words, sentences to explain Vedana.
Yes.
Similarly, Sanya is the same, Sankara is the same, Vijnana is the same. So I'm explaining in that manner. So you get a better understanding. Otherwise, you learn English terms rather than Magadhi terms.
Okay. So you're focused on the meaning of these items actually, not
Yes,
the
not the English, not
Language.
the
Yeah.
English
okay.
terms. No,
Okay.
no. Then because then you can't go further and further. Then you get confused. So
Okay.
yeah, you are on a better footing. You are learning well. You are understanding well. I'm very happy. So we can go, further and further. Then we can consolidate. We can come back. I will come back and recall. I'll come to the 10 defilements. I'll come to the 5 hindrances. I'll come to the 5 aggregates as you go along. Okay, I come and go, come and
Yeah,
go.
yeah, that's good because I think today I think I need one more class to consolidate the knowledge. I think I cannot understand you 100%.
That's all right. Don't worry. So if you understood 80%, be happy.
Okay.
If you can't understand the other 20%, you will understand that. Don't worry.
Okay. Okay.
It's
Thank you
like
so much.
okay, all the best.
Thank
Thank you
you.
very much. Thanks for listening. It's a pleasure to talk to you all, you know. So you are contributing a lot by listening and asking question. I like questioning. I like to know whether you have understood or not. All right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Thank
we also
Always,
learned a lot.
oh yeah, always ask questions. I really like asking questions.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much.
All the best. Take
Okay.
care.
you.
So,
All the best. Okay.
you need,
Yeah.
would you like to make the ending for the lecture?
Okay.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, I would like to. Yes, thank you so much for your
Thank you.
contribution, your time. Yeah, Dr. Bodhi. And
Thank you.
blessed by the Buddha's wonderful teachings, the kind mentor and Dr. Bodhi's compassion leading and inspiring. May all
Thank you so much.
beings have the intention to Bodhi and quickly realize the unsurpassed enlightenment. So that's it.
Thank,
Thank you so much.
thank, thank you so much. Thank you. All the best.
All the
All-
best. Good night.
Same wishes from me to you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Yeah. See you.